open up nomination for VP.
Okay, I'm opening up nominations for vice chair. Can I get a motion?
I'll propose Councilor Plan for VP.
I second that. Can we call the roll?
No, wait.
Oh,
What?
Councilor, you do not accept.
Second the motion.
Okay, motion has been made for Councilor Miguel to be vice chair, properly second. Do you accept?
I accept it.
Okay, can we call the roll?
Sure.
Councilor Miguel.
Councilor Miguel?
Myself. Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations to both.
Thank you.
All right, I have to get used to these microphones.
As a chair,
Just
you don't
to-
have to shut it off.
Okay. I want to start from the very beginning of this agenda. I believe we didn't say how we normally do the process of the subcommittee meetings. So we are commencing the Housing Committee meeting. Today is Monday, January 12, 2026. It is approximately 6:04 p.m. Note this meeting is also being conducted as a hybrid meeting. You may remotely access the meeting through the digital platforms that are listed, which is our Facebook Lawrence City Council page and our YouTube Lawrence City Council page. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting of Housing Committee is being conducted both in person and via remote participation. A reminder that persons who would like to listen to or view this meeting while in progress may either attend in person at the location of 200 Carmen Street, our City Council chambers, in addition to the following access locations that I had just mentioned, which is the Facebook Lawrence City Council page and the YouTube Lawrence City Council page. We do have minutes for council approval, which is council minutes dated June 12th of 2025 and July 8th of 2025. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, can I get a second? Properly second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. The first order of business in our agenda, we do have under new business December 16, 2025, which is item number 48325, the surplus declaration, 4,900 square foot parcel of land located at rear of 47 Hamlet Street. Let me see. We have, Mr. McCarthy, are you here before us today to discuss on this specific item? The button. I know, it's an adjustment. Yep.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Council, Chairperson Marmol. The matter, I'm Daniel McCarthy, Planning Director with an address at 360 Merrimack Street. I'm here tonight on document 483 of 2025. It's a request to have a parcel of land declared surplus. You should have received a package of documents showing that in enclosing that package, you're going to have an aerial map showing the location of the land. There are two subdivision plans showing the document, the area that was done, that was created. This piece of land was formerly part of the Frost School campus. The property owner at 47 Hamlet Street had made a request to the city to have this property reviewed and to see if she was available for, as an addition to her home, for her backyard. I had gone down to the property and had it surveyed. We had several people from the department to review it. The parcel of land is backed up by a granite block. The school, we went in front of the school department. You have the minutes from the vote from the school department where they they allowed the property to be subdivided, and we're asking for this property to be declared surplus for the purpose of a yard sale to the owner at 47 Hamlet Street. We've done something like this once before. I think you're familiar with Mount Auburn Street. We had done that in the past, and it's a similar situation where there's a large parcel of land belonging to the school department, not being used, unable to be utilized at all by anybody but the applicant here. And we're currently just moving forward to have this, as I said, declared surplus for the purpose of a yard sale. We'll be selling this property to the family who lives there for $1 a square foot, as part, which is one of the requirements of the yard sale program.
Before I make any comments, I just want to open this item up for discussion. Any questions? Councilor LaPlante?
When,
I see that they want to expand the property purchase, but at some point, either they or a subsequent owner or purchaser will build it.
there's a series of standard conditions that go with the yard sale. Under the program, the property is sold for $1 a square foot. The property has to be used as an accessory use to the home. That means green space, parking, or accessory recreational use. You could build a pool or could do something similar to that. You cannot build another home on the property. So those will be made conditions of it. There's usually a condition for landscaping requirements if necessary. There's usually a condition for stormwater plans if necessary. Haven't seen this property, I don't know that would be necessary under the conditions. We usually have the water commissioner review those plans.
Even with those restrictions, with the ADUs in place statewide, that allow an individual to be able to do license work?
It's a legal question. In the opinion I've been getting from the state is that accessory dwelling units are just that, accessory units. And they are not to be considered, they are not covered by our regular zoning laws. So yes, somebody could build an accessory dwelling unit in their backyard if they were asked.
So despite the assurances that they can't build anything through this, through the ADU, they could build a unit on there.
Possibly, yes.
Any further discussions? Council President Rodriguez?
Thank you. Through you, Madam Chair. So I was looking at my map, and it says that the owner of the land is the Frost School.
Correct. It's been subdivided off. It shouldn't be that. I don't know if it's been changed yet. It was only subdivided in.
No, my question is not around.
The property was subdivided from this, and it does belong to the school, yes. It belongs to the city, and right now it's listed as school property. The school back in July voted to tender this property and allow us to subdivide it off. So now it's a parcel of land. It's no longer part of the Frost School parcel.
No. My question is more like conceptual wise when it comes to the properties in the city of Lawrence. So the Frost School is not an entity.
Correct.
Perhaps it's the city of Lawrence that own the building and own the land. So by saying it's owned by the school, that absolutely wrong.
It's part of the school property, so it's only proper that we go to the school and request that we subdivide it from the larger parcel.
So the buildings
Your mic
are
is
city-owned buildings.
Don't turn it off.
Don't turn it off, just keep it on. The buildings belong to the city. We just went with we just built 2 new schools that it is nothing, no money from the school that being used to pay those loans. So that's, city owns it. Let's be clear. And the parcels or the land around the schools and in the schools are city-owned properties. So I understand that the proper procedure is going to the school committee or the LEE board in this case to make sure that the school is on board. But when it comes to even maintenance of those properties, it's not the school. So just want to make sure like we all clear so to avoid confusion when it comes to those type of properties, because and then it's an issue.
Yes, I understand that.
Put them on. Just leave it on.
City-owned property is city-owned property.
Yes.
And whether it's under the jurisdiction of the water department, recreation, or the school department, it's all city property.
Okay, got you. I just want to make sure, like, we know, we clear.
Yes.
Because if anybody can see, will see this meeting and watch it, they might get confused when it comes to, oh, it's city, or it's school. For some reason, it's turning, your mic is turning off. It's not you, because I just
okay.
saw it, I didn't touch it.
Okay.
You want to take this one? Steph? Maybe something wrong with that one. Yeah, I just saw it coming off.
Okay.
All right, we just want to make sure that we're clear on that, because it's city-owned. So the city of Lawrence subdivided that piece of land to allow almost 5,000 square feet to go to that specific address, or how that happened, how that come up, how that transpired, like that's what I want to know, like.
So the request was originally made by the property owner, that
Yes.
there was a large
So
parcel.
let's think abroad. There is a parcel behind that property, and they say, you know, there's a big parcel, I want a part of it. That's how the conversation evolved?
Yes,
Interesting.
yes.
So the city subdivided,
They paid for the subdivision, no.
so they
city
pay for the subdivision, and then they come in front of the city and say, look, we subdivide your property. We're looking to see if you can declare that as a surplus.
That's correct.
Under warranty, they actually subdivide it because it's a risk. When you actually hire somebody to come over to subdivide a property that is not yours with no warranties, how that evolved, I'm just wondering.
So there's two sets of plans in there. One of them is just showing a simple subdivision. The other one's what's called an A&R plan.
Yeah.
And that would be and that won't be executed until this sale is completed. And one of the requirements is that the person who buys the land has to merge the land into their primary property. And then at that point, they will own the property. Until that point, the city owns it.
Yeah, I understand that portion, but I just want to know, like, you know, because these type of conversations, even though it might benefit these homeowner, it's kind of like, you know, it's tricky, because if we start subdividing city properties to benefit the neighbor from around, I think like those lands should be used more for a general purpose, for you know, general benefit of the community, not one particular one, because it could be at some point that we start doing these more and more often.
Yep.
Just because it's a parcel around, let's subdivide it, and then, you know, you take portion of it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of like, you know, we cannot get just so used to doing the same thing. We have done it twice already.
Right.
With the same parcel, though.
Correct.
So it's been done twice in the last year.
Right.
So that's kind of like, you know, making me think about, you know, it's going to be a common use for just because we have a lot of land around there.
Yeah, I mean, a considerable amount of thought went into it when we reviewed it. We had different departments look at it for value and for, you know, whether there was any value. The school department took a long, hard look at it to make sure that it wasn't a piece of land that they really needed. And in this case, like I said, it's a parcel of land behind somebody's house. It's, if you go 10 feet past this parcel, there's a granite ledge that goes up 20 feet. A wall of ledge. I took some photographs, but they got tainted in some way, so they couldn't print them out for you. But there really is no other appropriate use for this property.
Can you go over the conditions that is going to be set up on the sale of this property, yard sale of this property?
Yes,
Can you
Yes.
go over those?
I can put them together. I used to when I was doing this as a land use planner, I used to put together a standard subset that would be part of the vote.
So it's not, you don't have those right now.
I don't have them with me tonight, no. But I can make those as a part of the condition, have them sent over to you this week.
Yeah, at least before, if this committee decide to move on, I think that we should have those. And, you know, most of the time when we actually do this yard sale, I'll say it all the time, as far as I remember, is that we don't allow structures to be built on those yard sale. If it is a sale that is at the value of the property, of the value of the land, and then those conditions kind of like get reduced, so to allow other uses. But if it is a yard sale, I'm personally would prefer to add that as usual, to not to build any type of structure unless that the sale is for the value of the property.
Yeah.
If it is for the value of the property, the valuation of the property, not a yard sale, and then I probably don't have issues with it. But if it is a easy, not that much money piece of land, and then you're building you know, an apartment perhaps, and then why?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, under the old conditions, it was always that it was green space, parking, or accessory uses. And we did allow buildings, like you could put a garden shed, or a dog house, or build a pool, or a tennis court, something,
Yeah.
something like that, that's for the family, and goes with the primary residence. The ADU law is a total new thing, creates these accessory dwelling units, which are not under regular zoning requirements, they're allowed by right. So I could,
they are allowed by right
yeah,
if the property get merged.
yes,
If you don't merge it, that's a separate lot. They have
correct.
a specific conditions.
that's correct.
And the ADU unit goes only on single or two families. If you don't merge this property, that we basically saying, as a part of the condition, you gotta merge it, and then you basically allowing an ADU unit
That's
by
correct.
default. If you don't merge it, it's an independent lot by itself that only can be used with the condition that we put on
Right.
on the sale.
Correct.
You're all set, Counselor? You're all set? Okay. Counselor LaPlante?
I think the council president made a comment that by right is single family, agreed. I'm not sure that anything zoned beyond an R1 is part of it. I think we probably need to take a look at that again. I'm not in full compliance and agreement on that. There is a movement in this that we withdrew to try to extend it to R2s and R3s, but we withdrew that motion because it was stagnant and it stayed before the council for over a year. So I just want to make sure that, I don't want someone to listen to this discussion and go, I'm an R2, maybe I can just go ahead. I don't believe, I haven't studied it recently. I don't think that's accurate. We should probably review that again.
And R2 potentially, yeah. Well, I know I think that this location is an R1,
It is.
so.
Like I said, it's a single family home. They have about a 9,000 square foot lot. They could build an accessory dwelling unit right now if they wished on the land that they own. As again, they're looking to acquire this land because they've been maintaining it, and it's been there, and it's really only usable for them.
So let me ask you a quick question, through you, Madam Chair, if you allow me to.
All right. You have the floor, Counselor
How
Rodriguez.
come they maintaining that property? Do they close it before they get subdivided? Did they fence it in before they get subdivided?
No.
And how are they maintaining it? Because it's part of the school.
It's they mow. They just mow it. If you were down there, all the property owners have gone a little bit into the city, into the schoolyard property.
Okay, it's an encroachment, and now.
It is.
Ah,
It
I got
is.
you. I understand. Thank you.
You're all set? So, are you all set, Counselor Miguel?
I'm also.
Okay. Mr. McCarthy, so I'm just reviewing the paperwork that was provided. For one, I'm seeing that a PowerPoint presentation was done with the, when this was presented, I believe to the LAE board. I'm just hoping that going forward, being that you did a PowerPoint presentation, it would be nice for you to also do the PowerPoint
Yeah,
presentation.
you come in, I wasn't sure what
at a
was set up today, so I will from now on bring a PowerPoint.
Okay. Secondly, my question, expanding on what Counselor Rodriguez was saying, I'm also questioning on, did the school, considering the challenges that the city has with parking, and then especially with teachers as well, is is the school stating that, you know, they don't need it for at least for parking for their staff? With,
Yes, yes, exactly.
so they're all set with parking?
They're all
There's
set.
there's no
I don't know that
issues?
they're all set with parking. This piece of land could not be used for parking for them, like I said.
Okay.
It's separated, isolated, far away from the school.
It's far, okay. How about parking for residents, for overnight parking, considering the challenges that we have with parking
This
as
is-
we see it now?
This is essentially this one home's backyard. There's nobody else can even access this property. It's landlocked behind this person's home and this granite wall.
Okay. And the third thing I wanted to ask was, I'm noticing here that it says, based on the vote, upon the recommendation of the chair, Pat Mariano, to approve the transfer of land at 47 Hamlet Street with the possibility that the payment goes into a scholarship fund for Lawrence students. The word possibility, I have an issue with that because it's not very concrete. So where do we stand with that?
I know the school superintendent also made the comment that it would be nice if he got the money from the sale of the property as well. But again, that's not my job. That's about what I do, so.
Okay. Can we get clarity with that in terms of,
I guess, yeah, the way the sales usually go, the money just goes into a general fund, into the city's general fund. So I would have to find out what the procedure would be to have that money set aside for that process.
okay, yeah. Counselor Plant?
Yeah, I just want to make
You
sure
have
that.
the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to make sure that that's not part of the motion.
Hmm.
That was just, it appears or sounds like it was something that it was an aspirational. It was something somebody wanted to consider, but this is not part of the motion that we go forward and dedicate the proceeds toward a scholarship fund.
That's correct.
I want to make sure I'm clear on that.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I'm all set with questions. I'm not sure if you guys have any further questions or if you guys are ready to make a motion on this item, making a decision on how to move forward.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion that we send this item to declare as a surplus with a fair recommendation pending all the conditions related to the yard sale as we discuss in this committee.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Second discussion.
Counselor LaPlante?
Yeah, so we've changed the rules a little bit from surplus properties, and this is dealing with some of the tax title stuff that we've been working on, and I forget the verbiage that changed the way that we need to go ahead and to declare things surplus and go after folks for this. Are we having another bite of the apple, so to speak, on this for these individuals, or is this the final vote we're taking in the full
I
council?
posed that question to the city attorney today, and he said that this would be the vote. That's why I
final
brought the
vote.
issue of the conditions and that fact.
Which
that
is
this
what I
would be a
thought. Thank
yard
you.
sale.
Okay.
Final vote of the surplus.
Excuse me?
Final vote for the surplus.
Well, what I just understood, that this is a final vote not only for the surplus, but for the actual
Disposition.
That we won't be coming back.
That's
to
right,
that
the
after
transfer is gonna be taking place without another bite. This is it. We're not gonna see this item for the sale of this property, for yard sales or anything else, because of the change that we learned about in the last term. And so I just wanna make sure that's taking place here, and in fact, it is.
If I remember that correctly, this is not a tax title. This is not a tax title collection. So this doesn't go into that law. That's what I understand.
Well, that's a question for the planning director, who I just asked that question, who just said to me, this is the final time we're having a vote on this, and that it's gonna be transferred. Unless I misunderstood what you just said, it's gonna be transferred to the individuals, are they named?
I don't see that
Yeah,
information
again,
included.
That's why I
No,
was suggesting that.
And I understand.
And make the conditions part of the vote.
And I understand that the law, the new law take place, but it have a distinctions. The law have a distinction within. It's not for the city-owned property from 1800s. It's from the properties that were taken under the tax title.
Right.
So this is not it.
Nothing to do with the equity laws.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So we need to make sure that we make a distinction on the properties, because this is as far as I understand, this property as part of the schools, part of property that was part of the school doesn't get into that law.
Right. It's a city-owned property that's a parcel that was part of a school building, and the process was, is this property needed by the school department? They said no, and they allowed it to be subdivided off. Now we're asking it to be in surplus for the purposes of the neighbor acquiring this land through the yard sale program.
Yeah, so let me just see if I understand. We have a law from last year that took place for the title, for the property that we take under the title tax properties, right? That it's a new process for that we need to hire a realtor and so far so on.
That's correct.
But this property is not under that condition because it's a separate property. We don't took
Correct.
that property under that specific conditions.
That's entirely right.
Which means that we have a specific process that doesn't have to do with the state law.
Correct.
And the process that we have in the city of Lawrence to sell a property is first to declare surplus by allowing every department to either acquire the property or develop a need for the property or not presenting an interest. If they don't present any interest on the property, and then we proceed with the surplus declaration first and then the disposition.
Correct.
So that's a normal process.
That's correct.
If it is a normal property that is not on the other procedures, and then this is the proper process that we need to follow because it's the city of Lawrence process.
Correct.
Because the other law was mostly for those that were affected by the unfair process of not giving the
Right.
money back of the value of the property.
Right. It's to protect the equity in the former owner of the property who hasn't paid their taxes.
Exactly.
In this case, there is no
So
individual.
these property have nothing to do with that. In many other property that are not on the same condition.
Okay.
So we don't have to obey by that specific procedure of the new law. That needs to be clarified because that is going to be that's going to bring a lot of different questioning and stuff like that.
Yes.
So given the distinction, do we have any further questions? It's already 6:30 and we do have another meeting.
I'll make a motion with
No,
the condition that we're going to
Give me one
present it.
second, Councilor Rodriguez. Councilor Plan, I believe you
I
so
would-
any lasting remarks regarding?
No, I got a lasting motion, though. I'm going to make a motion just because I'm not comfortable with the answer that I received this evening based on a lot of things. I don't think we should be sending this thing up to the full council. I want a definitive answer here in the committee. I'm going to make a motion to table this matter here so that we can get a definitive answer at the next housing committee meeting.
Okay. So a motion has been made to table, properly second. Okay,
Just call the motion.
Motion to table.
There's a motion to table.
so motion to table, well, Councilor Rodriguez's motion wasn't properly second, so. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the ayes have it. We will be discussing this at a later
All right.
time.
Okay, thank you.
Councilors, there are a group of items under new business dated August 12th of 2025. I believe these are the LRA properties, to
LRA.
which, not
Property
LRA
to be-
properties are regarding the LRA
Yes.
properties. From my understanding, this is currently being, this is like a court matter, from my understanding. So are we making plans to withdraw this until we get further clarity?
I'll make a motion to send item 33225, 33325, 33425, 33525, 33625, 33725, 33825, and 33925 for the full council for withdrawal due to the fact that we are under a lawsuit for this property. Once we get a resolution, and then we proceed.
A motion has been made. Can I get a second?
Second.
Properly second, discussion. Counselor LaPlante?
I don't feel comfortable, even though I think members of this committee know how I feel about these items, I don't feel comfortable sending them to the full council. Here's the reason why. I have yet, unless it's been sent to me, I've yet to see this lawsuit that I've heard about, but I'm not sure I've actually gotten the language of that. I would like to take a look at that. I think that should be part of the record if we're going to be doing that for that purpose. I don't disagree on maybe doing this in the future and withdrawing it, but just right now, this is such a highly contentious and emotional item. I want to make sure that if we're basing it on that, that I've seen the doggone lawsuit and I've seen it and I'm aware of it, and then I would feel more comfortable voting in favor of it. And I think everybody here knows how I feel about these properties, so that's my reason.
No, that's definitely a good question
Understood.
through you. Just
Councilor Rodriguez.
A quick question. I mean, I have seen it. I don't know if is
Do
the
we-
city attorney have sent it to every council.
Okay, just to you said you have seen it. You have seen what, an email from the city attorney?
Yes, with the actual document from the court indicating the lawsuit.
Okay.
And what they looking for is for clarity. I thought that everybody has it. If you don't have it, by all means, let's make sure that we have it.
I may have it. What my point here is that this has been dormant now for months. We have a new council as well. We have new information, and if the basis of what we're doing, this is, I think, truly relevant to what we're about to do here. We need to be aware of what the language is in that lawsuit, the rationale behind that, so that when we take this motion to withdraw, we are fully informed as to reasons what's happening not only here but in the courtroom. So that's why I'm not ready to vote in favor of that tonight, to move this off until I take a look at that. And maybe we can get another copy for everybody. We have 2 new counselors. Everybody should have a copy of the new language. And that should be part of this document now.
Through you, Madam Chair.
Councilor Rodriguez.
The lawsuit, as far as I understood, is that they looking for release from a judge indicating that the city council have nothing to do with the disposition of the properties. That it could be done. It could be done through an executive order. The discussion that we have had in the past, we believe that we have a set. The council have a set on this matter, just like any other transfer of a property. And essentially that's what they're looking for through the court system. Because essentially the way I personally feel like, I personally feel like as a council, or as a council member as a member of this body, the city council, they are presenting this not as part of the requirement. Instead, that's how I feel about it. Instead, they doing it as part of just a matter of in a good faith. And I believe that as a council, this shouldn't be treated as a good faith effort. Instead, it should be treated as a requirement of the process to transfer those properties for the specific reasons as to why this is going to be benefit for the community. So once we get clarity from the court, and that's why I'm making this motion to withdraw. Once we get clarity from the court that yes, the city council have authority, or no, the city council have no authority whatsoever, and then we can definitely have a strong set as of why we're voting on favor or against this. Because first of all, we clarify that the city council have an authority over the transfer of the properties, and that's why I have decided to make this motion.
Okay. Councilor Rodriguez, I believe that what Councilor LaPlante was looking for is to receive the information that you're privy to. So whether it's
if
through
that's,
via email or a letter from the city attorney, I believe that's the request from Councilor LaPlante, is to have that information be shared amongst all councilors, especially
I believe
those.
it does, but I mean, if it's not, and by all means, we can share. You cannot make a decision under the provision that something they haven't read.
And I was, if you don't mind, Madam Chair, I'll make this real quick. My sense is, my recommendation is, we should be putting onto the city council agenda as a standalone item. This is a significant, if it's the mayor that is suing the Lawrence City Council, that should be an item on our agenda. And then we should have, and it should be made for the public, so everybody can say, I know it's a public document in the courts, but it should be here. And we should have all of that, so knowing that. So I would recommend to the city council president that we introduce that as part of our deliberations. It be sent to whatever committee you deem it worthy,
Okay.
maybe ordinance, I don't know, but we should at least send that to it.
I'll withdraw my motion. I take your advice.
Thank you.
So are we having a motion to table this matter? Is there a motion on the table for these items? Or,
Yeah, I make a motion to table items that we just mentioned.
okay,
332, 333, 334, 335, 326, 337, 328, 338, and 339.25, all of those. Withdraw my motion to send it to the full council for withdrawal. Instead, I make a motion to table.
okay, so there has been an amendment to that motion to table these items. Can I get a proper second? A properly second. All those in favor say aye. Aye, and the ayes have it. All right, any other items that needs to be untabled? Seeing none, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Properly second. All those in favor say aye. Aye, and the ayes have it.
The Zoom link for this meeting was provided to anybody that requested. This meeting has been also, is going to be transmitted live through the Lawrence City Council Facebook page, as well as the Lawrence City Council YouTube page. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilor Gonzalez.
Present.
Councilor Miguel.
Present.
Councilor Marmol.
Present.
Councilor Infante.
Present.
Councilor Reyes is noted as absent. Councilor Del Rosario is also noted as absent. Councilor LaPlante.
Present.
Council Vice President Levy. Present. Council President Rodriguez.
Yes, present. Please join me for a moment of silence. Now join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Public participation. Anybody from the public that wishes to speak? You're going to have 2.5 minutes. Please refer to this council as a whole. At the 30-minute mark, at the 2-minute mark, you're going to have 30 seconds to go.
Homoin Mali
Please state,
53.
please state your name and address for the record.
Homoin Mali 53 Chester Street. Good evening, honorable members. In this important new year, we the citizen proud to support Lawrence Police Officers Union. Lawrence Police, with the impeccable leadership by Honorable Chief Morris Aguilar, doing excellent job to protect our citizens. Lawrence Police Department, this union of pride and honor, one of the best police departments in the nation. Because of your hard work, because of your excellent service, Lawrence is a safe city. Million thanks to our DPW employees for keeping Lawrence one beautiful city. You are doing excellent job. Lawrence Inspection Department, thank you for excellent job. We support your union. We must hire more inspectors. Lawrence Public School, with the impeccable leadership by Honorable Superintendent Ralph Guerrero, moving forward. Lawrence teachers, thank you for excellent job. We are proud to support Lawrence Teachers Union. Lawrence teachers, because of you, Lawrence will rise again. We the Laurentian are proud to support our awesome veterans. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. We must hire 2 separate positions in a veterans department. We must create the best commission for elder. Lawrence always is strong. Lawrence always unite. In this new year, we wish the best new year for all Lawrence police officers and the first responder. Thank you for, we pray for the safety of all police officers and the first responder. Lawrence Fire Department, with the impeccable leadership by Honorable Chief Delaney, one of the best fire departments in the nation. We are proud Lawrence Police Department has a new police building. Lawrence Police, the true shining superstar in the sky of Lawrence. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Councilor Russell. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, councilors. Rich Russell, 34 Cross Street. Just think, only 723 more days of elected servitude ahead of you. I know a lot of what I say is going to be either ignored or not heard, so it still is what it is. What do November 9th, 1997 and January 5th, 2026 have in common? November 9th, 1997 was the screw job in Montreal, orchestrated by Vince McMahon, who changed the scripted departure of Bret Hart from the WWE. January 5th, 2026 could be considered the Lawrence City Council screw job, where somebody must not have gotten the last page of the scripted scenario. If I were a comedy writer in Hollywood and writing about the antics of what transpired in this building, I would get drummed out of the comedy writing school because this stuff is unbelievable, what goes on. Why wasn't a welder's job posted? I got a message that we're hiring parking lot attendants. We're hiring park department workers. A welder, she's making what, $1.75 to somewhere up around 200, but they're hiring, they're posting $40,000 jobs. Are there any job skills so secret that we, the taxpayers, have to be kept in the dark about this position? Nothing was posted. How long did the interplanetary job search take? Rumor Control, AKA City Hall, are suggesting that a welder is being let go because she wanted more money. Any bets that her replacement will be getting the raise that she was looking for? Is it true that her replacement once refused, for whatever reason, to take a state test to be certified as a sealer of weights and measures for the city about 10 years ago? Again, these are comments that deserve to be made, whether they're listened to or ignored. I don't really care, but they are said publicly. They're on the record. Again, thank you for the time.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, with this, we are closing public participation. No public hearings on this meeting. Communication from the mayor, city officials, city attorney, there is none. Committee report, there is none. And we have all business. Item 00326, authorization to purchase an airplane hangar at the Lawrence Municipal Airport. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Council President. At your meeting on January 6, 2026, the council voted to suspend the rules and then voted to approve this document on the night it was introduced to purchase the hangar, and you had added 3 caveats. At the January 6th meeting, the council did not declare the document an emergency, which, unlike just your rules, the charter actually in section 3.8 requires that if an item is going to be voted on the night it is introduced, it should be declared an emergency. As that didn't happen, we are revisiting the item tonight. It is no longer the night it's being introduced, but out of an abundance of caution, I want to encourage the council to take 2 votes tonight. The first is to declare the document an emergency, and then the second would be a vote to ratify your vote from January 6, 2026, approving document 3-26, which was the authorization to purchase an airplane hangar with the 3 caveats. If you want, we can take each item separately, but at this time, I think you would be looking for a motion to declare the document 3-26 as an emergency.
That is, we were looking for a motion to declare this as an emergency. There is a motion by Councilor Infante, second by Councilor President Levy. Discussion. Councilor Infante.
Thank you. Through you, Council President. Either if you or Council President, the clerk can answer this. How was it determined that we made the mistake of not declaring it as an emergency item?
This one. So,
Madam Clerk.
yeah, thank you, Council President. So at the night of your first initial meeting, I don't know if you recall this, but I didn't think you had a funding source that night, and I was, in my mind, thinking that it was going to get sent to committee. And then Mr. Spana, the senior advisor, was here, and he let us know that there was sufficient free cash to cover it, and the mayor was in favor of it, so there was a funding source. So we did not need to send it to committee at that point. So I just hadn't prepared for that scenario. I really wasn't expecting that. So we had suspended the rules, which is what I was thinking we needed to do to discuss the item, but to actually take the final vote, the next day it was brought to my attention that we had not declared it an emergency. And so.
Was it brought to your attention by a counselor, the council president, or a counselor?
A counselor, yeah.
Okay. Was this counselor aware previously of this situation?
I'm not sure. I
Okay.
don't know.
So I'm just going to say this. If the counselor was aware, we are now sitting here having an extra unnecessary meeting, wasting people's times. So I want counselors to be cautious of that. If you are aware, sometimes we do forget. I know we all have a lot of on our plates, but if this is something that you are aware during meetings, it'll be helpful for all 9 city councilors for this to happen during the meeting so that we don't waste people's times. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your opinion. Anybody else? At this time, we are going to call the questions. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
Do you have to do roll call? Is there anybody online?
Unless someone voted no.
Nobody's online so far. I can double check to see if there is anyone. But so far, I don't see anybody. So all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. So now we move in with the second set of the vote,
So-
which is the ratification of the vote. Madam Clerk.
Sure. So the ratification would be, I'm just gonna long, so I'm not making the motion, but the motion that was made at your meeting was,
We're ratifying today.
that you're ratifying today, the motion that you're ratifying, that made on January 6th, was a motion for the city of Lawrence to purchase a hangar at the Lawrence Municipal Airport for $975,000 on behalf of the Greater Lawrence Technical School, GLTS, with the understanding that GLTS will repurchase the hangar from the city within 5 months for the $975,000 plus any additional costs incurred by the city during that holding period. In addition to that motion, there were 3 caveats added. One was that the council president would serve as a contact as needed during the negotiation process. 2 was that the parcel must appraise at or above the $975,000. And 3, that the seller must obtain the approval of the Lawrence Airport Commission prior to our acquisition. And those 3 motions were all added to those 3 caveats were all added to the motion, which did pass with a 7 in favor, 1 no, and 1 absent.
Right,
So
at
that
this
needs to be
time,
ratified at this
We'll
time.
entertain a motion to rectify the vote.
So moved.
There's a motion to rectify by Councilor Infante, properly second by Councilor Vice President Levy. Any discussion?
I just wanted to speak to the
Superintendent.
motion. I know Mark has some concerns.
I believe my name is Councilor LaPlante and not by my first name.
Councilor LaPlante.
John Lavoy.
No. Just refer to Councilor as Councilor LaPlante.
Counselor Mark LaPlante
Yeah.
had approached me with some concerns, so I want to address those concerns before you vote, because I want to make sure everyone understands. So in Methuen,
So just tell us about the question. What was the question and the?
his concern was Methuen hasn't taken their final vote. They voted and they were in favor of it at the last meeting. They're voting Tuesday. They had to wait till next Tuesday's meeting to solidify it. So what I might suggest that might make them feel more comfortable that the city doesn't sign any purchase and sale until Methuen has signed off on it Tuesday. That way you
So
can
let
vote.
me ask you a quick question.
Yep,
So the city of Lawrence is purchasing the hangar
yes.
today,
Yep,
right? Let's say now. Once the school decide to purchase the hangar
yep,
from the city of Lawrence,
yep,
and then the fourth community need to take a vote
yes,
and ratify the purchase from the school
right,
to the city of Lawrence of the hangar,
yes,
right?
yes,
So that conversation will take place
yes,
later on down the road because
yes,
we are just purchasing the hangar now.
yes.
So, but I hope that you have those conversations because we don't want to.
Well, I've had conversations with all the communities in favor. They haven't,
Okay.
so Methuen hasn't taken its final vote because they have to wait till their next
And
meeting.
Lawrence haven't taken a final vote either
And Lawrence hasn't taken a final vote
because
either.
we haven't discussed
Yeah.
that yet.
Yeah,
Later on, it's going to be a part of the vote, right?
yeah.
Okay. So at this time, discussion, Councilor Brown.
Sure, thank you. So, thank you, Superintendent. So the concern, something just doesn't seem right about this. And the last time we had a meeting, we just needed ourselves to go ahead and do it, and the airport was going to vote on Thursday. Well, the airport hasn't voted on Thursday. The airport's going to be voting next Thursday. I was in the impression that Methuen has already supported it. Well, Methuen didn't have a final vote on it. The final vote's going to be taking place next Tuesday. I believe Andover and North Andover are all set. They've got what they're looking for. But it just seems as though we're going through, you know when you feel something is unsettled? When you think we're trying to jam this thing through awfully fast? And we hear that this guy doesn't want to sell it to us, but yet, even though if the airport votes no, probably not. If Methuen votes no, probably not. Andover and North Andover voted yes. We're probably going to be voting yes. It's a fait accompli. But the fact is that it hasn't happened. Those votes haven't taken place. And there's a presumption, based on conversations, that this is going to go forward. I don't want to be working on presumptions.
No, Councilor Plan,
And
the
so,
thing is,
can I finish my thought, Council President? Thank you. So there may be, I'm willing to listen. I always am willing to listen. So I'm willing to listen. But right now, this just seems as though, when someone has put and tells us we need to get it done tonight, it's urgent. We got to do it now. And it doesn't speak to me, and it makes me feel like something. It doesn't feel right. It's the only way I can say it. There's something in my stomach that says it doesn't feel right. We're rushing this through. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll for Councilor Reyes.
Councilor Reyes?
Present.
Thank you.
All right. Something that I want to make sure that we're clear. The item in front of us is for the city of Lawrence to purchase a hangar.
Yes.
That item doesn't have to be approved by any other community because it's the city of Lawrence that is purchasing a hangar through a third party. Once the school decide to purchase it back in 5 months from today, the other community need to approve that purchase.
Yes. That's how it works.
So that's how it is, correct?
Yes.
I just want to make sure that we're clear.
Yes.
So this item is the city of Lawrence that is purchasing that hangar from somebody at the airport.
Yes, and that's why we went to all the communities. Wasn't going to ask the city of Lawrence to purchase a hangar that if I didn't feel like we had the support from the other communities to purchase it from you. So Mark's biggest concern with Methuen, what I had suggested was,
Councilor Plan.
I'm sorry.
I know we're friendly and we have a very
Councilor,
good relationship, but tonight in
I'm
this
sorry.
meeting, I do
Yes.
have a title that I worked hard for. Thank you.
Sorry. Just to alleviate his concerns, what I was saying is you can vote to purchase the hangar, but not to sign the purchase and sale until Methuen signs off that votes yes. That way there, you're sure before you sign that they voted in affirmative. That's the only thing that I can try to reassure Councilor LaPlante.
If the council decide to put that, accept that as a friendly amendment, and then go from there, we can definitely entertain it.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we don't have that as part of the motion, so let's.
Okay.
Is Councilor? Councilor Infante to rectify the vote. So any other discussion? Any other motions? Any other motions? All right, at this time, I'll call the roll. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
So, Council President,
Councilor Levy,
yes,
please,
that is what I was thinking.
just repeat the motion for
just so-
for the record.
So, and also, so that way, Council, Al Infante can know if you want to ratify or change anything.
So again, the motion that you are ratifying is a motion for the city of Lawrence to purchase a hangar at the Lawrence Municipal Airport for $975,000 on behalf of the Greater Lawrence Technical School, GLTS, with the understanding that GLTS will repurchase the hangar from the city within 5 months for $975,000, plus any additional costs incurred by the city during that holding period. There were 3 additional caveats already made to the motion. The first is that the council president would serve as a contact as needed during any negotiation process. The second was that the parcel must appraise at or above the $975,000 purchase price. And the third is that the seller must obtain the approval of the Lawrence Airport Commission prior to closing with the city. Those are the 3 approved caveats.
All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor LaPlante.
No.
Councilor Del Rosario is noted as absent. Councilor Reyes?
Yes.
Councilor Infante?
Yes.
Councilor Mamo?
Yes.
Councilor Miguel?
Yes.
Councilor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Council Vice President Levy?
Yes.
Council President Rodriguez?
Vote on the affirmative. What's the count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 in favor, 1 absent, and 1 no.
All right,
Saying yes
motion
before.
carries. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
There's a motion to adjourn, properly second. Discussion, there's none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you so
Aye.
much. Thank you, Councilor Levy, for joining from there. Councilor Reyes, thank you for joining through online.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. Members of the Budget and Finance Committee, please. The Lawrence City Council Facebook page, as well as the Lawrence City Council YouTube page. Voting members for this committee are Councilor Mark LaPlante, Councilor Stephanie Infante, Councilor Vivian Marmo, and myself, Council President Giovanni Rodriguez. At this time, councilors, I'll entertain a motion to, a nomination for the chair of the committee.
I nominate Councilor Infante as chair.
I'll second the motion. Any other nominations?
I can nominate myself as chair.
I'll second the motion. There's 2 nominations for the chair. At this point, we're gonna call the names of the person that would like to vote. Councilor LaPlante,
LaPlante.
Councilor Infante,
Infante.
Councilor Marmo,
Infante.
and I vote for Councilor Infante. So, Councilor Infante, congratulations. So now open up for vice chair.
Switch through here. All right, councilors, at this point, I will open it up for nominations for the vice chair of the Budget and Finance Committee. Do we have any nominations for vice chair?
Nominate Councilor Blunt for vice chair.
Councilor Rodriguez nominated Councilor LaPlante. Do you accept Councilor LaPlante?
I do not.
Okay. Your phone. Is there any other nominations?
I'll nominate Councilor Marmol for vice chair.
Councilor Marmol, there's a nomination for you. Do you accept?
I do.
Okay, so there is one nomination. Oh. and
Second.
There's one nomination, and there's, I will second the motion for vice chair. At this point, we will call the roll for that one nomination. Please state the last name. I will start with Councilor LaPlante.
Marmol?
Council President,
Councilor Marmol.
Councilor Marmol,
Marmol.
and the chair votes in the affirmative. Congrats. The affirmative.
Affirmative action.
Yeah. All right, let's get this. It's been a long day, guys. All right, let's get this started. We have a couple of new business items tonight. The first item, we have item 479-25, appropriation of funds in the amount of $2 million for the schematic design phase for the MSBA Accelerated Repair Program. This was brought to us by the COO of the Lawrence Public Schools. However, we do have the Chief Financial Officer with us and Superintendent Carrero. You guys have the floor.
Good evening, Council. Good evening, Madam Chair. We're here tonight asking for an appropriation. The original appropriation ask was for $2 million. After speaking with our CAFO, and after reviewing some historical data, we're bringing that amount from $2 million to $1 million. So that is the amendment to the ask. And just to give a little bit of historical on this ask, back in March, we brought the ask in front of the council, asking for the schematics and also the whole project. So at that point, the council voted for the amount that was being asked. In April, we brought that vote to the LAE board, which also voted for it. And then in October, we got an invitation to partner on a schematic design study with the MSBA to explore the potential solutions to the building needs that were identified at that point. The needs were, or are, the windows for the Arlington School, the roof for the Frost, and the roof for the South Lawrence East. That is what we're here to ask for a $1 million appropriation to begin the schematic study design and partner with the MSBA in completing that project.
If you don't mind, Chief, quickly, can you also add, inform us, how old are the current windows at the Arlington? How old is the current roof at the Frost and the South Lawrence East?
The Arlington, I know is original. I believe they're all original except for the Frost, but let me see if I have that in here. And I apologize, I don't have that information. Yes, so the Arlington is original to the building. I believe the roof of SLE is the same, Madam Chair, but I don't have the information for the Frost. However, it is, in order for us to ask for it, is beyond its life.
Okay. Do you mind sending us for all three
Yes.
in writing so we can add it to the doc?
I'll do that right after
Thank
we're
you.
done here, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Counselors, would you like to hear from our CAFO first, or would you like to open up questioning first and then Councilor LaPlante?
I'd like to hear from the Capitol, please.
Okay. CAFO, thank you.
Good evening, councilors. Ramona Ceballos, CAFA.
Thank you. Kafa, walk us through, they're asking now for, went down to 1 million. How are we looking at city-wise? How much, where is this money coming out of? And what is the current, how much we have in that account that we're taking this out? Just walk us through that.
Absolutely.
And then we'll open it up for questions.
So this would be coming out of our free cash account. Our free cash stands right now at 15,600,380.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? 15
Sure.
million?
15 million, well, I should exclude the item on the agenda for tonight. I have it here. Without the item on the agenda for tonight, 15,880,781.
781, okay. Are there any, do you have, actually, I'm gonna reserve my questions. I'm gonna open it up to the counselors first. Counselors, any questions for the CAFO or for our school district? Council President.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. So today we have the document that came from the school department explaining the project, explaining the importance of the expenditure of this amount of money, which is $2 million. And then stating the potential of the anticipated reimbursement of anywhere between 70 to 80% of those projects. If we add up those projects, potentially those projects could be all the way to $70 million, according to the document that we have in front of us. So, and if we have to spend 10 to 15% to do the initial schematic designs, how come we went from 2 million to 1 million? Do we got a deal?
That's a great question. I reached out to the MSBA because I wanted to get more information as to a number that I will feel more comfortable with than just coming with a percentage. And they did send some historical data which showed different schools that has had similar projects. So I was able to review those projects, and based on the amount similar to what we're asking, the $1 million seemed to be more in line with what has happened in the past. I also asked them if the amount was not sufficient, could we just come back to the council and ask for additional funding, and they said that will be okay.
Okay, so did you review it with the different departments? Because you know about numbers, but not about construction.
About what? I'm sorry?
Did you review it with different departments? Because
So
you know a
I-
lot about numbers, but
I-
construction, you're probably limited to.
Nope, so I I met with about 8 people from the MSBA, and one of them was the senior project coordinator for this school. And I also met with the bond council. I want to make sure I had all my ducks in a row for you guys.
Okay, so, okay. All right, no problem. So next time that we have an item like this, something that, you know, that we're going to be looking at is to have all the documentation, not only from the requester, because at this point, if we look at the process as of how things supposed to be working, we have the requester, in this case, the school, saying, look, if you spend $2 million, we might get $70 million back. And then that goes to you, the administration, and you guys work everything around and bring down the appropriation transfer of a specific amount that you guys feel comfortable with to do any project. And with that, a memo come down to be able to review it at this committee. We should be reviewing that information, not just the requested, because if we look at this, it's kind of like, you know, not accurate. And it's not because we don't want it to be accurate, it's because things change, and on this case, it changed. It changed from 2 million to 1 million.
Yeah.
So just for the next meeting,
Yeah,
for the
no,
future.
I agree 100% with
Yeah.
you. I have spoken with the school, and going forward, we will work together to make sure you guys receive the appropriate documentation.
Yeah, and by all means, that doesn't mean that we don't want to receive the requester information. We do want to see what they request and what the city allocate, because in that way we can either advocate for the project a little more with our board here and the city council suggestions, but we also want to know, like, you know, what is it that that it was the city allocation is. Right now, we hear that it's $1 million, and that's basically for next meeting. We want to have that documentation in place so we can put it as part of that. We can put it as part of that of the proper documentation for this item, and be able to take a vote on that information that you just read.
Yes.
Thank you.
I have a question. I see here in the doc that this was initially sent to the city clerk and the council president on December 12th. Were these projects approved by the MSBA in December as well? Anyone?
No, they were approved on October 29th.
Okay. Any other, I have more, but let me, any other questions, councilors? Council Marmo?
I want to go back to the balance of the free cash. Oftentimes, I see that we have pending projects to which the funding is coming out of free cash, and right now, just based on the conversation that we're having, we're stating that it's 15 million there, then we're deducting the 1 if this gets approved. But what are pending projects to which it will be deducted from the free cash for fiscal year 2026?
So we started with 18,394,361. 18,394,361 was what the Department of Revenue certified.
One more.
And that was in November?
That was the end of October.
End of October, okay.
Then we had DPW capital improvements for $2,316,507. We also had the fire department uniform and motor vehicle. That brought the balance down to $15,887,081. That does not include anything else. The number I gave you today, if the $1 million is approved, then it will bring it down to 14 million. There's one item on the agenda for tonight for the rail trail. That's 280,000. If approved, then it gets deducted. But I'm not aware of anything else that will be
Okay.
funding from free cash.
So if everything goes according to plan, then free cash should be in the 14 million range that you just mentioned right now?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm all set, Madam Chair.
Okay, Council Plan, there is one school here that's in your district. Do you have any questions or comments for the CAFO or for the school district?
No, I don't want the kids to have rain on in their classroom, so roof replacement sounds pretty good to me. So I just want to applaud the council from District D. Those are exactly my question, which was going to be, I want you to project into the future and tell us, we've got 15.8 million, this is going to be 14.8. I want to know if there's anything else in the pipeline, anything else that you're being considered. I know we got capital improvement budgets that we got to look at as well. And there's got to be I'm going to throw a big number out there, $100 million worth of stuff that people want to see, or a big number like that. So we're already taking out $1 million on this and 200,000 later for the rail trails, which I've got no concerns about any of those things. There are a lot of good projects. I want to make sure that as we look at, and I think this is where the point is, when we start looking at the whole picture, we've got a piggy bank with 15.8. We have, who knows, 20, 25, who knows how many millions of dollars worth of things that are out there that people are going to want free cash for. Don't know what those are. You might have a better handle. And then as we start paling these things down, 1 million for this, 200 for that, all of a sudden there's going to be some real other things that I'm going to find really important. I'm like, oh my God, I would have voted for that rather than this had I known that was going to be, that was a possibility. So that's the kind of concerns that I think that sparked this by my good colleague from District D. So that's the one thing that I'm trying to get a sense from is what's out there.
So I usually come to you guys
That
at
might-
the end of the year for snow and ice. That's a line item that usually comes at year end, as well as I'll be back again for the OPEB, which is a necessity for the outlook of the city in terms of bond rating and so forth. That's one that we weren't able to approve last year. Also, compensated absences, I will need to come to you guys for that as well, which is requesting additional funding for paying out employees when they retire or are terminated from the city. So those are the things that I usually bring out to your attention at the end of the fiscal year. I'm not aware of anything else yet at the moment.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor LaPlante. Cathal, so standing as of right now, you feel comfortable with this $1 million mark?
Yes.
Is there, and I don't know if you or the district can answer this, but is there a time limit? Do we need to approve this by a certain, does it need to be used by a certain time, date or anything like that?
So the MSBA is very specific on the timeline.
Okay.
So there are some documentations for compliance that the school will be working with the MSBA. That needs to be done by February 2nd, and they're working on that. We do need to provide them with the vote by March 3rd for the schematic design. So it was originally February 2nd. They're okay. They sent an email confirming that March 3rd would be okay for them to receive that vote for the schematic design. After that, we have a little bit of time to go out to borrow. It takes a few months. So there are some times where the school will need to work with the MSBA and get an OPM, get a project manager and so forth, so that will be coming after. But for now, there's some compliance paperwork that they will be working on, as well as the vote that they need by March 3rd.
Okay, thank you. Council President Rodriguez.
I have two questions. The first question will be, is the reimbursement from the MSBCA as the regular formula they use? That is not 80%, something else?
So it's my understanding
Or it is the
that
full amount?
for ARP projects, which is accelerated projects, repairs, the reimbursement is a little higher than it would be for a construction. I know for the Leahy and the Oliver, the reimbursement was a lot lower than the 80% because there are some items that are not reimbursable at that percent. But I believe for the ARP projects, it's between 70 and 80%. That's the information that I
So
got.
essentially, later on down the street, we need to come up with 20 to 30% of the cost of that project.
Hopefully 20. We're
Sure.
hoping for 20, but.
So that will be another,
So the total of
Almost
the
2 millions.
project will be about 3.4 million. If we-
3.4
if-
million,
If we
yeah.
did the 17 million estimate.
so essentially, down the road, you guys gonna come back and say, look, we need another to cover the expenses. So, and my other question is gonna be around that we need to borrow those funds.
That's
And
correct.
then get reimbursed from the state.
Yes.
The capacity, our borrowing capacity is about $14 million, $15 million. Is that gonna affect that amount by much? Or we're gonna have to?
There is some debt that will be coming off by the time we go out to borrow this. So we're gonna be pretty close to our capacity, but we'll make it work.
Okay. I just wanna make sure that we're aware of those. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the councilors? Seeing none, Superintendent Carroll, as a courtesy to you, is there anything else that you would like to add or?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to thank the council for the support. I think all of your questions are valid questions, and you keep an eye on the city coffers. The schematic diagrams that will be produced by the MSBCA is also reimbursed at 80%. So investment for the city and for those is, if it didn't go through, would be a risk of $400,000. However, I will let you know that after we've proceeded with all the procedural votes, we did have a subcommittee of the MSBA come out to look at the projects. They understand thoroughly what's at stake, and I think the way we've handled our last two projects and them coming out to see the projects that we have, it's being looked favorably upon. So as my team mentioned, these are accelerated funds that they had in access. We were asked to bid, and we knew that those two schools needed roofs badly. With those two new roofs, we can also start to move forward on starting to look at your solar systems on our flat roofs. So I think that'll be a good thing at the Arlington and at the South Lawrence East. If you haven't had the opportunity to go by the old Lawrence High School, the North Central Complex here, it has all brand new windows to the tune of about 480 of them. The Arlington School has approximately 850 windows. But if you look at the old North Lawrence School, the old high school, and you see the facade and the new windows, it looks like a brand new school. Same thing will happen with the Arlington School. Aside from us saving electricity, heat during the summertime and the wintertime. So we look forward to those projects, and hopefully we can get them done within the next couple of fiscal years. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, councilors, at this point, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to send this item to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Motion has been made by the council president. Is there a second? Seconded by Council Marmol. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you. We'll see you at the next city council meeting. All right, councilors, the next item, we have item 480-25, authorization to expend $232,000 of the Massachusetts Office on Disability FY26 ADA Improvement Grant, and it was brought to us by our ADA coordinator, Richard Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, you have the floor.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And congratulations, being elected as president was the right choice. I'm here to advocate for a grant we received from the Massachusetts Office on Disability. It's an application process was very competitive, and we were awarded, as you indicated, $232,000. That's to make ADA improvement, specifically on the Lawrence Library. I gave a copy to everyone. Did everyone get a copy of the contract?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
First of all, I'd like to indicate this is a reimbursement contract, which means we have to advance the money and then we get reimbursed back. And it's also, the good news is no match funds. So that's good news. Now the time frame. We have to spend the money no later than June 30, 2026.
I'm sorry, Richard. Before you continue, I just also
Sure.
want to recognize we do have the Madam Chair of the Commission here with us, Joan. Thank you so much for being here, and I know you always come when we have items, so thank you, thank you.
And we also have the library director here.
We have Director. How are you? All right, you can continue. Mr. Rodriguez.
Now, I'd like to thank everyone who was involved. As you indicate, the Commission on Disability was involved, the library director was involved, and particularly in DPW, Glenn Gary was very active. I gave him a list of violations the library had for years, and a lot of those was already fixed. So what we did, we took the violation one and we put that into the grant. Now, I also like to thank the mayor, because without his approval, this would not have been possible. You know, I need the authority for the mayor to apply for a grant. Now, these are some of the expenses. We are going to put a rail on the main entrance. We're going to replace all door knobs and have push button like you see here. We're also going to replace some of the water bubble. They're very high, so it's not accessible for people who are in a wheelchair. We also, like you see here, we're going to have the signage for the blind. And we're going to install a visual alarm. Those are some of the examples of things we're going to fix and update related to ADA compliance. And this is the second time we have received a grant from the Massachusetts Office on Disability. As you know, last year we received a grant that makes City Hall more accessible. You can see the work product. So the library will be next. Then next year will be someplace else. So any question, I'm here to answer.
Actually, before we get to the questions, Chair Finucciario, is there anything that you would like to add to the presentation from the commission's perspective?
The largest change.
Can we?
The largest change.
I'm sorry, Mr. Rodriguez, can you give her the mic, please? Thank you. We're taking notes. Well, Council President is taking notes.
I would say the largest change is the filling in of the pit in the child's room. Sure you remember that architectural detail. There were many people on the trustee board that had a nostalgic feel for it, but the people who are on the trustees right now, there's a lot of lawyers and the liability risk won out. So that will be one of the main areas, and that will increase the square footage that hopefully we can have an area specifically for a disabled group, like maybe a Braille corner, or it's gonna open up a large, I don't have the exact square footage, but maybe 500 square foot.
Thank you.
That's all I thought he left out.
Right, thank you. Director Aburuji, is there anything from the library's perspective that you would like to add? Just want to make sure that we have all parties involved here.
Thank you so much, Council President. One of the things that I would like to mention here is, I'm sorry, Chair. One of the things I'd like to mention here is that this was an opportunity to be in alignment with our 5-year strategic plan that you guys will hopefully have in print soon. We actually just had it done the other day. We want to make sure the library is an inclusive space, right? So that pit that gives us an additional 250 square footage that is on average by an adult size 2 feet and about approximately 5 inches deep. For an adult, right now signifies about 3 feet. So for our children, most importantly, anyone who's trying to be in part of this inclusive space is very important to, in our hopes, is to fill the gap, and then that's going to create the opportunity to have more of an opportunity for building a collection, building more space for our children to thrive. And I think the ultimate goal of a library is to be inclusive, right? And this is exactly one of our KPs, our key performance indicators in our strategic plan, is to have that aligned with that. So I want to thank today, of course, Richard, Joan, the council for using our space for their meetings, and most importantly, hearing the concerns of our focus groups, our constituents, to know that this is one of the gaps that we have to fill today. So thank you.
Thank you, Director. Council Marmol.
Director, don't go away. Don't go away. Don't go away. Will this project impede the current operation or the flow of how the library operates?
Our hopes is that we are able to align ourselves with a vendor that understands what we have to serve with our community, and they're able to build around that, right? So I think our ultimate goal is to be able to make ourselves available to our constituents, specifically in our children's room, but most importantly, to create the space to be more navigatable for everyone involved. So if that means that we have to make ourselves silos for a couple days in order to ensure that we increase our square footage by 300, I think that's okay.
And then my second question is, what is the projected time for this project to take place? I'm not sure if that was already stated. I'm sorry.
Where the time we have to submit, the time frame is from June 30 to, we end June 30 to 26 and begin since 2 weeks ago.
No. But if approved, if approved, when would this project, like how long would this take for a project of this magnitude to be completed? Will it commence in March and finished in June of 2026?
As soon we got the approval of the grant, the director and I and the commissioner chairperson, DPW director, Glenn Gary, we had a meeting. He started that particular day to look for a vendor. So it already started.
Oh, you guys already have, okay.
Right, looking for vendor.
Okay,
Right.
so you guys already have started, just there's a continuation of work that needs to be done.
Right, so Glenn Gary will be responsible to make sure the bid process follow, make sure he get the right vendor. Usually the same vendor, like for the sign for the blind would be the same person we use for City Hall. So it's the same particular vendor.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing is that you guys are being proactive and started the administrative side of things while waiting for the grant to be approved.
Yes.
Okay.
We have, to make the record straight, we have not spent any money yet.
Okay,
So
okay.
we just started the process.
All right, well, it's nice to hear.
Sure.
And I would just like to add, in order for grants to be submitted, especially on a federal level, you need to have proposals made with estimates. So some of those vendors have already proposed estimates on what the cost would be initially if we were accepted with the funds.
Okay, all right.
And also to follow up with her statement, each line item has a specific estimation of how much of this is going to cost, how much that's going to cost. The expert on that's Glenn Gary. He did a great job. This would have been possible without his support.
Okay.
Thank you. Council Morrow?
No, I'm all set. I'm in favor of this. It's just general questions in terms of how long this project to rectify and making sure that we're in compliance. Just wanted to know how long a project of this magnitude would take. But thank you.
Yeah, Boston's very strict. They do not grant any extension. Like I said, this is the first time we are doing this. First time was very successful. I did 2 parks report, submit all invoices, and there was no course of action. Everything's perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Councilors, any other questions or comments? Councilor LaPlante?
Thank you. The library board of trustees, have you said supported this, Director?
So in October of 2025, we actually had our 5-year strategic plan approved. One of the things about our 5-year strategic plan is our inclusivity plan was part of that. So a lot of the KPIs aligned with how can we better facilitate the space for this. This is not the first time this has been brought upon us. We have something called the 3030 report.
Madam Director, I just asked a simple question. I'm sorry. I just
Yes,
wanted to know, all
in
I wanted to know
hindsight-
was whether or not the trustees voted for it. That's all I want to know.
In hindsight, yes, they have approved.
They have approved it. That's all I need to know.
5-year strategic plan.
I don't
Yes,
need I don't need the convincing.
Of course, thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yes,
We'll
the
save you
Board
some
of
time.
Trustees in highlight.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. My other question, and this is, I don't know who this is for through you, which is this. What happens if there's cost overruns? Do we expect any cost overruns? Are those allowed? And if so, who picks those up?
No, it's not allowed. We are earmarked specifically $232,000. That's it. And that,
So
that's
there's-
it.
No city money. So if that doorknob, if that button doesn't get installed, that presses the door open because you don't have it, that's not going in.
Well, like I said, it's estimate, and the one to be in charge with that, Glenn, he will figure a way how to reduce whatever.
Okay, so that's a hard number, and you don't anticipate any other city funding for these purposes. This is it,
Like I said,
$232,000.
like I indicate, there's no matching funds.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. On a side note, if you don't mind, when I was a little boy, many years ago, I'm not going to bring a tear to anybody's eye when I say this, one of my favorite spots was the library going into the doggone little well. I had my reading assignments. I had 10 books I had to read every summer back in 1977, 1978, and I got all my books read, and I spent a lot of time there doing it, and I used to love just that space as a young boy. So I get it. I understand. I understand the nostalgia. I understand that. It drove me to want to go to the library. So hopefully whatever is done there has has the same kind of pull for whatever, for the young people, for the children, that they would want to go back to that space, whatever that space is. So that's a request that I have, and I'm sure that's what you're looking for anyway. So that's that. My last point is, I want to congratulate the chair and her commission. Thank you for all the work that you're doing, Commissioner. I see all around the city, here in this building and other places, where your commission has really put your thumbprint down and have made some progress around. And I just want to publicly thank you and tell you that I've noticed it. And I think that because of your leadership and leadership of the board, it is making a difference. And thank you for serving. That's it.
Thank you. Council President Rodriguez, do you have
I'll
anything?
make a motion to send it to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Motion has been made by the Council President, seconded by Council Marmol. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any noes? The ayes have it. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
One quick announcement, if possible. I apologize. We are having, I sent an email invitation to all the city council. We are having what's called a ADA grant presentation. So the executive director of the Massachusetts Office on Disability will be there, and other people from Boston with the state delegation, the city council. So that's February 3rd at 3 p.m. at the library. Thank you, and thank you for your support.
Thank you. All right, Councilors, the next item, we have item 481-25, authorization to expend $408,000.
Si tú quieres coger ese de último, me tengo que ir.
I'm sorry?
Yo tengo que salir en eso.
$408,474. Oh, okay. Actually, we're not gonna take yours just yet, because I'm gonna lose a member. Hold on a second. Let's go into, oh, it's still your item anyways. We're gonna skip over to 482-25, appropriation transfer in the amount of $280,400 with 65 cents from free cash to the rail trail project, brought to us by Director McCarthy. Director, you have the floor.
Good evening, councilors. The package in front of you has the contracts, the final estimates from TEC. This is a contract. It's actually two contracts. We had to change the numbers on one of them because of the age, but it started in 2016. TEC was the engineering company that received the original grant to design the rail trail project as part of this initial process and starting it. So they've been working on this for the last 10 years. We're currently at the end. As you see in the TEC client authorization form, the final 3 years was going to be $449,000 to cover all the construction design costs from for the engineering company to work on. They've been working on that. What we did was we went through the city planning department budget to find out any excess money. We were able to find some from a trail grant, and we were able to find some money from an earmark with excess money left over, and to pay that money down, but we are still short $280,000 and $280,465. So that is for the next 3 years for engineering cost. That is the final cost, presumably. That is going to go into the city's portion of the project. We are asking that they come out of free cash. It's a fixed fund, and the project is currently underway. The TEC's been working on this consistently. They're working on it now, even though they probably haven't been paid for the last 30 days. So, but we're asking that this go up to the full council for payment from free cash. I listened to the conversation earlier. I think no department more than my own understands the needs of free cash. We're a very short budgeted office. We work strictly from what we have, and we have to get very creative with our grants and stuff. So we don't like to come in here and ask for money from free cash, but this is an important project, and we want to make sure that we get this to the end. And again, I'm making my assurances that this will be the final ask.
Thank you, Director. I'm going to see, I believe this is in your district, Councilor Marmol. Do you have any questions? I'm going to start off with you if you do, for Director McCarthy.
Just one question. The 280,000, was that anticipated by your department? Like, was your department aware that this is the amount that was needed, or did it come as a surprise to you while this project was underway?
The money's been spent down. We've had to go and refinance. I think this is contract amendment number 7 on this project. So the original grant back in 2018, 19, I believe, was for $1.1 million. And the costs have continued to grow. And DEC's been working on it. We take their insurances. Mass DOT is the contractor. They have their own engineers working on it. But again, TEC is the design company that planned it. So they have to sit down, they have to meet regularly. And I attend all these construction meetings myself. So we are meeting every week, and we go through panels, reviews for lighting, landscaping, every element of the design. So yeah, it's not an unexpected cost, but it's a cost that we hadn't budgeted. We tried to, as I said, fix it. We had the $449,000 cost estimate for the 3 years. At the same time, we get the contract from the state. When the state came back and said they funded it, the original cost of this project was $26 million. When it finally went out to bid, the cost was $39 million.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
When it was originally budgeted back and went on the tip 7 years ago, this project was estimated to be a $26 million project. And
You said something about
the
39?
last 2 years that I was working on it, when working with Merrimack Valley Planning Commission, we had funded it. We got more money because we estimated the costs were going to be up to 30 to 32 million was our projection. When it went out to bid, it came back at 39 million. Was the low, that was the low bid. One of the other ones was, I believe, was 55 million. Again, Mass DOT is paying for all of the construction. So they said 39 million, that's fine, we're going to do that. But again, like the design costs that go into it kind of reflect the amount of work that goes into it as well. And those numbers rise as other numbers rise.
I think Councilor Marmol, you still have the floor. Is there anything?
Oh, no, I just wanted to, because oftentimes, as we hear, we're given a number, and I understand when it comes to construction, things could change. So I was just curious as to, if we were anticipating for that remaining balance that you're coming before us, for us to approve. So was there anything specific in regards to the changes from this project that is incurring the 280,000?
No, I mentioned that the original, when it came back to us, when the contract was approved, and it came back and said, these are going to be the final cost to get it to ending, that number was 450,000. And what we did was we went back and started and looked for all the other funding we could drag out from other resources, and we paid off a portion of it. We paid them off through December. They were working through December on the other funding. But back when we sat down and went through these numbers on what the shortfalls were going to be on some of these construction projects within the city, and we decided that this was one where we wanted to come in and ask for the free cash, because to make sure it's a specific number to get us through to the end. Again, it's a 2027 end construction, and this amount of money will secure us for that period.
Okay, I'm all set.
Councilor Platt, I sense some frustration. Would you like the floor?
No frustration, is the exact opposite.
Okay, good.
What I want to say is just 2 comments. Comment number 1, this is a technical report for the most part, and I will be very frank with you. I'm going to be relying on someone of your expertise to make sure that the documents that are coming before this council and this committee for the next 2 years, I want to hear the good and the bad. Don't just give me the sugar. I want to get the vinegar as well. So tell me what's concerning about it, and I'm reliant on our professional staff, including you and others, to provide for me the straight and information on this. I can look at it, but I'm not trained to understand all the details behind an engineering report. That's not my background. So I'm reliant on people who are going to be advocating for that. So that's a matter of trust, is what I'm suggesting to you, and I hope that I can count on that trust going forward. That's number one. Second quick comment is, I'm not going to tell you how long I've been on the council. I'm tired of saying it, but I will tell you this. I am one of the top projects that I have been a part of has been this project. I cannot wait for this thing to come to completion. When I look back on whenever that is on my council career, and I'm going to see this, and I'm going to take great pride in knowing that I had a part to play in the rail trail through the city and all that that encompasses with bringing some unusable parcels and bringing it to use and adding recreation space and trying to do something that beautifies the city as well. It is such a win, and I am. It's unfortunate that the price is started at 26 and it's ending at 39 at the low bid, but that unfortunately that's government, unfortunately, and that's cost, and that's government procurement laws as well. So thank God we have Leader Moran that's helping with a lot of these things, and now with Senator Payano as well. I'm sure he's been helpful on the Senate side. So thankfully we've gotten some partners who are making sure that the taxpayers directly, these are all taxpayer money. Let's not kid ourselves. 39 million is taxpayer money. I don't think there's any private donations, are there? Didn't think so. So all public donations, all taxpayer dollars. But as far as literally from the city of Orange directly and being the bulk of it, I know that that's money coming from the Commonwealth, from a bunch of taxpayers. So thank you for the work that you're doing, and I'll be supporting this, Council Chair.
Thank you. Council President, is there anything else that you would like to add? Do you have any questions?
I'll make a motion to send it to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Motion has been made by the Council President, seconded by Council Marmo. Any further discussion on the matter? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? No, the ayes have it.
Madam Chair, I'm gonna have to recruit myself for the next item. People potential conflict of interest.
Oh. This one's mine then? Authorization to expend $408,474 from the Mass DOT grant. We do have, the council president just recused himself due to a potential employment conflict of interest. Director McCarthy, this is also your item. You have the floor.
This is a project that I've been working on for about 5 years. I know both councilors from District C and F are familiar with this. This is the freight rail project that's been ongoing on the north side. I mean, on the at the industrial park and from the Broadway train yard. The $408,000, and I just want to preface my presentation by stating that I will be asking that this matter be tabled and continued. I just want to make an announcement. We just received the contracts last week for the other companion project that's going with this. It's called the Chapter 130 funds. We received $1.3 million from Mass DOT. That is to construct the rail line from Beacon Street down Glen Street, the one that goes down the middle, and redo the street. That's going to be 100% paid, but I'll be bringing that forward next week. So the one that's before you today is what we call the IRAP. It's the Industrial Rail project. It has to do with upgrades to the existing industrial rail. This is the final portion of it. This is actually phase 3. This is a third IRAP that we've received from the government, from the state, Mass DOT, and we've been working closely with them. One of the things you're going to note that there is a 40% match on this. The $408,000 is a 60% cost of the construction. The estimated full cost is $680,790. We're going to be coming back, and we'd like to address the match in some manner, but we're not going to. But right now, there's we've been working with Mass DOT, and the city has been able to acquire donated materials. So all the materials, the rails, the ties, all that goes into it, all the material parts of it are donated to us by the MBTA. And right now, that's estimated to be $210,000. So $210,000 will be coming out of the $272,000 match. We have approached some of the corporate partners down there to see them about them donating towards the project as well. But we've also reached out to our delegation to see about getting some more funds to not only look at finishing this project, but to look at improving the industrial rail throughout the city for some other companies that have indicated within the city that they would like to get industrial rail as well. So that is where we're at. I would prefer to come back in 2 weeks and do a PowerPoint presentation for a bigger explanation of the entire project, so that we can inform the public what's going on, where this money is coming from, and how it's going to be spent. But I'd be glad to answer any questions that you have right now.
Actually, I think you just answered. I was going to ask you, last time you and I spoke about this, there was an element due to the governor's office that wasn't public information yet, and I was checking in to provide an update for the neighborhood association meeting. So I had to keep some of that quiet. I was going to ask for a generic update on the project entirely, to have that for that next meeting coming up in a month and a half or 2 months. But I think if you're going to do a PowerPoint presentation for this committee, I can just use that. And if there's any other, and I'll check in again closer to the meeting if there's anything that changes.
Yeah, it is really one of those projects where you have to see the plans and have to see the pictures to know and how this helps the city in our economy.
Actually, we have the president of the neighborhood association that affects this area. I'm going to ask President Razi to connect with you, Director. I think it would be great to have you at that meeting to explain this project.
I'd be glad to attend.
To the constituents. Thank you. Councilors, do we have any comments or questions regarding this project?
Very quick,
Councilor
Praz.
LaPlante.
Traditionally, the councilors from most of my career, from E and F, have been very closely worked on a lot of projects together. And this is a project right here, for example, that clearly District E is the lead because it impacts District E tremendously. But I'm glad to be riding sidecar in support. My only question is what's taking so long? This seems, I remember when the former district councilor was, now he had to recuse himself because of where his position was at the time. And I had to basically at that point, because he had a conflict, I had to take the lead in his absence. But it's been a long time. And I'm frustrated for the folks from that district that this has been dragged and dragging and dragging. So I know we're tabling tonight. I don't need any more answers. I don't want to take any more time on this. It's just a message through you to you, Mr. McCarthy, is I realize you're just one part of this, but use your part as much as you can. I know that if I went into your office right now, if this was your desk, it'd be filled with papers with projects that you're working on. I don't know where this fits on all this stuff, but we're so close to the finish line, it appears to me. Let's get this thing done if we can. And I like to clear your desk if I can with this one out of the way. There's no questions. That was a comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Pike. From my perspective, and I understand because this is one of the big projects that came to me when I first became a city councilor, but I think you and the folks involved in the state and also the individuals from one of the companies, one of the businesses in that area, You guys have been great with communication with me, so I appreciate that I have everything that you guys have been working on. Like I mentioned, there's a parts of it that we couldn't publicly state yet until we got approval by the governor's office, but it is moving along. As Councilor LaPen mentioned, we're right there, and I can't wait to see this finally, breaking ground.
This is
but-
the good part. We're at the construction part of it, and that's the good part now. When you're a planner, you do a lot of planning. The best time is when you see the construction happen.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause it takes a long time. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Director. Can I have a motion to table? Is there any other questions before? No.
Motion to table.
Second.
Motion to table was made by Councilor Marmol, seconded by Councilor LaPlante. No discussion on tabled matters. All those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilors, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. Any discussion on adjournment? No. All those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it. Thank you so much, councilors.